Hey people, how's it going? It's Tuesday, a little after 4:30. Kinda lost a couple of minutes here getting ready. And yes, I am not in Toronto, I am in my hometown, North Bay. And I am on Main Street. Hello Big S. Hello Sanjay, hello Danny, hello Mike Lavash. Hey, hello Alex. Hello Doug and Yogi. How's it going? And Harjot and Marie Palmer. Oh, okay, so that's who saw me, Marie. Oh, okay. Yeah, I totally saw him. And hello Yahia and John O'Meara. And Doctor in London. And hello Melissa. My sister has joined us from Vancouver. And Brad Palmer, Tara Evans. Anyone else I haven't said hello to? Hello Fong. Hello Brett. Hello Todd and Nicole and Thomas Brown. And Con Burns. Hello Janet and Whitby Dude. And Doug and Pamela. Hello Pamela. And Funny Dog's here. And Jeanette is here. Alright, so I think I got everyone. If I missed anyone, I apologize. I'm sure I'll get to say hello to you later on as we walk around. Hello Joanna. So I'm on Main Street, North Bay, but that's the core of Main Street up there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk away from the core. I'm going to loop around and we'll make our way back to the core of North Bay, to the core of Main Street, after we walk along the waterfront. And I thought on the way we can pass by my old apartment, take a look at it. And some local landmarks such as Alice and the Bookman, which you can see right here. That's an awesome, mostly used bookstore. They do have some new books, but it's mostly regarded as a used bookstore, and they have like 100,000 books in there. Hello Bobby Hall. And Michelle, yes, I'm in the Bay. Hello Zach McNally. And I used to work at Alice and the Bookman for about 2 or 3 weeks. But I had to leave because I wasn't getting enough hours there. I was just getting 15, 20 hours a week, and at the time I needed more than that. So I got a job at another place, a full-time job. Is this weird, Melissa? You were just here not all that long ago. And look, isn't this that sketchy motel that you guys were afraid of? Is there sketchy people doing sketchy things? Did I know Gord? Yeah, I think I knew him then. He didn't work there though when I worked there. I've known Gord for a long time. So here is Fisher Street. This will lead you sort of out to the highway and also to the Northgate Shopping Mall. Yeah, it is very nice. It's about 19-20 degrees right now. And I'm sweating. I mean, it's legit a warm day. I'm just wearing my t-shirt and I'm hot. Because I did walk down here from my mom's house. Actually, I walked down here from further than that because I did a pre-recorded video before I started this live stream where I walked all the way from the very northern end of town up by Tebow Hill, as they call it, all the way down to where I started the stream. And that took a while, so I got myself nice and sweaty. Hey, John O'Meara. Hey, Alan K. Kwan, how's it going? You almost missed it, whoa. And Eli's here, my nephew. Hello, Eli, how's it going? Hope you're enjoying Vancouver. If you don't know, my sister's family moved out to Vancouver at the end of August. So that's where they're watching from. Yeah, Bill Chell, although we're not in like the main part of Main Street, that's up ahead that way. This is kind of the more edge of downtown right now. Yeah, that's right, Sanjay. North Bay's been in the 50-some thousand range for as long as I can remember. Kind of goes up and down. I think at one time it was like about 56, 57,000. But then it lost some population. It just sort of like loses a bit, then it grows a bit. Then it loses a bit, then it grows a bit. It can never like get ahead. So we are going to make our way into the heart of downtown, as I mentioned earlier, but I thought first we'd walk along the waterfront. There's a neat little pathway over here that we can take after we walk by my old apartment, the last apartment I lived in before moving. And actually there's another old apartment of mine that's right nearby, so we might be able to see two of my old apartments. Oh yeah, it's smaller than Kingston. Kingston's like more than twice the size of North Bay. Well, I don't know about the boyhood home, not in the stream. However, I did do a pre-recorded video where I walked past one of my boyhood homes. So keep an eye out for that. I've recorded about 4 or 5 pre-recorded videos so far, just walking around North Bay, and one driving into North Bay video. When me and my friend were coming into town, I recorded a video of us driving right into town. We've got the old houses here. Some of the old housing styles are sort of similar to what you see in Toronto. The Rat who plays Danganronpa. $50. Oh my goodness. And Mike Landry, $5. Hi Ken, nice to see your hometown. Hello everyone. Hello Mike, and thank you very much. And hey Ken, about 45 minutes from there, all of the Lake on 11 is a place I visit to hunt and fish yearly. Then the COVID thing happened. We miss it so much. And you're welcome very much, and thank you very much for the super chat. Trip down to Walmart. I was just at the North Bay Walmart yesterday. So thank you to Mike Landry and to the Rat who plays Danganronpa for those super chats. Very much appreciated. And Susan's here. Hello, Susan. And Miguel. How's it going, Miguel? Yeah, that's right, John O'Meara. Thunder Bay and North Bay do have some similarities, despite being 12 hours apart from one another. And Thunder Bay was once 2 cities, as you know, right? That combined together. That is the ONTC head office there. That office building, that's where the Ontario Northland Transportation Commission is headquartered. Oh, I missed this light. I'll get this one. And strange things are afoot at the Circle K. I have to say that every time I walk past the Circle K. So up here, you see that red house right at the very end of this row of houses? I lived in an apartment at the top of that one, in the attic apartment. Or no, wait a second. It wasn't the attic. It was the second floor. No worries. No worries. I lived in the second floor of that red house for just about a year or so. And I lived there with my girlfriend at the time. I keep missing these lights because I'm too distracted by looking at things. Can I go or what? I'm just going to go. Figured if that guy's going, I'm going to go. Hello, Rob in Ottawa. So that apartment I showed you over there, I lived there from 1995 to 1996, so not very long. And then me and that girlfriend broke up. So I moved into my own apartment after that, which is just right up ahead here. Hello, walking lady. How's it going? And Godwin. And then here's a new place. This used to be another place called the Bull and Quench Pub. And now it's the Station Tap House. Yeah, this is the east end of town, so this is the kind of more, I guess you could say, sketchy, slightly run-downish side of the city. So I could see how you might think it looks a bit like Hamilton, at least the parts of Hamilton that fit that description. And here we go, this is where I used to live. This big red house here. There's 4 apartments in there, and I lived on the very top, up in the attic apartment. So there's my old living room window. And that building was built in 1908, I can see there. And I lived there from 1996 until 2010. So that is a long time living in a attic apartment. Why is the East End always sketchier? I know, right? It usually is. I mean, it is in Toronto. Hey, Vivian, how's it going? All right, let me cross the street here because there's a path I'm going to take. I don't get run over. It's been so long since I've walked along here. Alan K. Kwan, $10 for an authentic North Bay dinner. Thank you very much, Alan. And I think Greco's is the answer to that. Actually, I do have plans to go out to Eastside Mario's tonight with a friend of mine. So that will come in handy for that, Alan. So thank you very much. I guess I have to cross back again. Okay. I thought this path led directly to this little pedestrian bridge over here. I guess I'm a little bit rusty. Or I guess maybe it does. Maybe I just have to loop around. Let's continue walking through some of the East End here. Marco, I got a ride up with a friend of mine. He picked me up at Vaughan Metropolitan Station, the subway station in Vaughan. And from there it took 3 hours, like maybe even a little less than 3 hours. So it didn't take very long at all. Yeah, I got a ride up with Jim Whitby Dude. And I actually saw him again yesterday. So this is the old East End. I also lived in another place up ahead here when I was a very small child. Actually, I think it was the first place we lived in when we moved to North Bay. I was 5 years old when we first moved to North Bay. And up ahead here is a street called Whitson Street. And we lived there in my grandmother's house. Jeanette Morales, $10. Thank you very much, Jeanette, for this $10 super sticker. So I'm going to head towards that pedestrian bridge, but I'm going to zoom in. And you can sort of see a little square looking building poking out at the end there. That used to be a convenience store called Reese's. And that was across the street from my grandmother's house. So those are some of my earliest memories as a child. Walking to Reese's to buy candy or whatever. That's when I was about 5 years old, 5 and 6. And I don't think that store is still operating. That building looked to be no longer being used as a store, so that's too bad. So this is the sort of cycle and walking path that snakes its way around town. So let's go over this bridge. We'll get a nice view. And maybe I got a bit of a blockage as I was walking through that tunnel. Hopefully that didn't affect anything. So once we get to the waterfront, you're going to see some nice looking scenery, because that is what I think North Bay is known for, is its waterfront. Is it Minecrafting? Uh-oh. Hey, Mark Lang, how's it going? Looking right down Main Street. And that is called the North Bay Overpass. That's what everyone calls it. It goes over the railway tracks and leads to Lakeshore Drive and the West Ferris neighborhood. No, not many high-rise buildings to be found in North Bay. I mean, there are some, but they're not very tall. Just a couple of buildings over 10 stories. There's like an 11-story building downtown. That's the tallest building downtown. And there's another 11-story building in West Ferris. But there's lots of like 6, 7-story buildings in that range. Mostly apartment buildings. "12. What was I thinking?" Well, you just missed me walking past my old apartment, 12. You'll have to catch it in a replay. Plus, I also did it in a pre-recorded video, so you can catch it there in glorious 4K after I upload it. Okay, so I'm going to walk through another tunnel thing here, so hopefully the connection doesn't crap out. Maybe I'll run through it. I'll do that thing where Johnny did, where he ran through that tunnel. Okay, let's go. Let's do it. You attended Canada? Yeah, Davey, that's awesome. Hello, Monica, New Jersey. Alright, so now we're heading for Memorial Drive, and we'll head back towards downtown along the waterfront. Yeah, you gotta run from the monsters. Whippy dude, I kind of thought I would maybe do that, but I didn't get a chance to. Because Nipissing U is kind of way up on the escarpment, and I'd have to take a bus up there. And I just didn't really get around to doing that. Annette, no, Megan is in Guelph still. And I'm actually heading back to Toronto tomorrow on the bus. So there's Lake Nipissing. We'll get a better look at that as we walk along the waterfront. Well, I can point the camera in the direction of NORAD, Sanjay. It's up on the escarpment also. Thanks. I think we have some visitors here. Hello, hello. How's it going?
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Stop for a minute. Hey.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, everybody. And Yogi, look at Dexter. Doesn't he look like your dog? Oh, he wants to go. He wants to go.
Well, it's nice to finally meet you.
Yeah. So you're going to east side, eh?
Yeah, well, that's the
Oh,
plan.
here,
That's the
just
plan.
go
A,
towards
a $10 in-person super chat.
Yeah,
Well,
for
thank you
sure.
very, very much.
Okay, brother, we're going to take a selfie. Hey?
We can, Marie.
Hey, let's try this. Where's my camera?
So Brad and Marie Palmer have joined the chat live and in person.
Let's see. Okay, Brad, get in there, Brad. Get in there. Can't see you. Okay.
Can I get everyone in the shot?
Let's see. Wait. There you go.
You want to do another one where I'm looking at the camera?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I was kind of
I'm
looking. I
sorry.
was kind of looking away.
Okay, wait.
Okay,
How come I got... Okay.
that's good.
Look at how shy Brad's being now. When Brad saw you in Algonquin, he was like a little kid when I gave him.
I was wondering who that was. You know,
He
I was
said-
like, "Hello."
Brad says, I saw Ken, I saw Ken.
Here, Ken, this is for Snacky on the way
Oh,
home.
another $10 in-person super chat. Wow, thank you so much.
Did you hear me yell out Johnny? Hey,
No,
Johnny.
I didn't hear that. That was funny though.
Okay, carry on.
All right, well, thank you. Thank you very much. It was awesome meeting you.
Bye.
Okay.
Have fun, Ken.
Yeah, I will. Be sure to watch the replay.
I know I'm gonna look stupid.
No. Bye, guys. Well, that was awesome. And those are my first in-person super chats. And now we're walking by the highlight of the North Bay waterfront, the sewage treatment plant. Behold the magnificence. Hello. I don't know if they're beeping because they knew me or they just saw a guy holding a funny looking gizmo. Yeah, that was awesome. That was awesome meeting people in real life, in the flesh. That's right, Bill Chow. Yeah. But luckily now I don't smell anything from the sewage treatment plant, so that's good. Sometimes you really can. Yeah, Alex, that's true. The Northlander. Real actual humans, I know, right? And Danny Kaman, €5 for some Scooby snacks for Dexter. Thank you very much, Danny. Thank you, Danny. Wayne, that's right, I am in the hometown. Here's Lake Nipissing. And one of the many beaches that run along Lake Nipissing. Is this rush hour? Well, I guess it is, although there's not much rush hour traffic here on Memorial Drive. But on Lakeshore Drive, it does get pretty busy. You can have some backups there, and on the North Bay Bypass, traffic can get backed up at rush hour. But you know, rush hour here lasts like less than an hour. Like, it is truly like an hour. That's it. Rush hour is a real hour. It's not like rush day like in Toronto. So here we go, Lake Nipissing in all its glory. Well, Wayne, it's small, but it's not that small. It's not like there's a general store. There is an actual, like, plethora of shopping options here. There's, like, downtown, which is admittedly not doing so great these days, but there's also a good-sized shopping mall, and there's another smaller mall that's kind of not doing so well, and a whole bunch of shopping plazas, and there's a power center. It's pretty typical for a small Canadian city of about 55,000 or 52,000, whatever it may be right now. And here's another much better beach. Lake Nipissing is awesome for swimming because it's very shallow and the sandbars extend pretty far out, so you can walk way out in the lake and it still like doesn't go over your head. And also there's big waves when it gets windy. Nope, no Costco. That's right, but there is a Home Depot. Oh, there's wildlife to be found, sure. I mean, it's not like you'd see moose or anything walking around right in town. That does happen, but I've never seen it in my whole life living here. You hear stories about moose walking into the neighborhood sort of on the edge of town. Same with bears. Bears wander into the city. That happens more frequently. Yeah, home of the Dion quintuplets, and they actually have a museum up ahead, so we'll probably walk past that. Danny Caman, 10 more euros and add this to your Greco's fund. Well, thank you once again, Danny. Very, very kind of you. Grecos, Grecos. And those are islands you can see out there. Called the Manitou Islands. I think that's what they're called. I might be wrong. Yeah, there's deer and moose. I mean, if you kind of go to certain more outskirts areas around town, you'll see them. Not so much moose. I mean, they're more rarely seen. But deer for sure. It's kind of a big deal if a moose wanders into town. Like, that's not something that happens regularly or normally. Hey, Megan, right on. You like? This is the waterfront. Rolling with Ian. No, I'm on Memorial Drive. This is along the Lake Nipissing waterfront. Wayne, yeah, I don't think it would be that uncommon for deer to get hit by cars. Yeah, the fall colors are definitely already happening up here. You'll see the escarpment once I get a little further ahead. Sort of big rolling hills rimming the northern edge of town. I did a pre-recorded video walking along the waterfront as well, but I didn't make it down to this end of the waterfront in that video. So I was kind of planning to cover that area here, so that all worked out. Yeah, Whitby dude. I think this is one of the nicest waterfronts of any city or town in Ontario. I think without question. I mean, it's just all very nicely done here. Yeah, thanks, Doug.
I came back home.
Does hockey rule here? Yeah, I think so, yeah. And I remember high school football was a big deal here also. But high school hockey was a bigger deal. And there is a OHL team in North Bay called the North Bay Battalion. They used to be the Brampton Battalion, I think, but then they relocated to North Bay. And they play in Memorial Gardens, that's the name of our arena. I say our arena like I still live here. Alan, actually I'm not. I'm going back to Toronto tomorrow, so I won't be here for Thanksgiving, but I still had some yummy Thanksgiving-like food that my mom made me. Let's take a walk up here. Yeah, the North Bay Centennials, yeah. They were named after the centennial year of North Bay being founded. North Bay Centennials came to North Bay in 1982 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the founding of North Bay in 1882. Well, Mike, you know, I don't really feel that much of an attachment to North Bay anymore, strangely enough. I consider Toronto my home now. But I do know it like the back of my hand. Look at all these, what are they called? Inukshuks, right? There's a whole bunch of them. I kind of did cover this in my pre-recorded video. There's a big one there. Yeah, Scott Thompson from the Kids in the Hall was born here. And Michael J. Fox lived here when he was a kid for a little while, because his father was part of the Canadian military, and there's a military base here in town, CFB North Bay. Jeffrey, yeah, I remember that when those figure skating champions were here. Yes, thanks, Kathleen. It is pretty easy on the eyes, isn't it? Wayne, yeah, I've thought of it. Just never seems to happen coming back for Christmas for some reason. Ah, I see Marie has rejoined the chat. Is Brad here too? Yeah, they're both here. Hello again, Marie and Brad. There's a new building that was not there before. So it's still under construction. And the boardwalk up ahead is being redone right now, so unfortunately part of it is not walkable right now, but I will be able to walk along a portion of the boardwalk. I was looking towards downtown. Yeah, I pity whoever has to mow these lawns. It is hard. I'm trying to avoid it. It's really glaring off the lake. It's almost like two suns. Yeah, I'm not too sure, Todd. Maybe they are. And there's the boat. That's the original Chief Commander cruise boat. That one is dry dock now, and now it's a restaurant and bar. And there's a newer one that replaced it, like, even though that one is pretty old now too. But this one is really old. I don't think it's here though, the new Chief Commander. The Chief Commander 2 is what they call it. It might be out on the lake cruising. It's a tour boat, cruises around the lake. I did catch it in a video I shot of the waterfront the other day though, when it was docked. Well, I don't think there's a lot. In West Ferris, there's a few condo projects along the lake. Like mid-rise, and at least one 10-story condo building is down there that I know of, and a few other apartment buildings. Yeah, that's right, Wayne. I want to point my camera that way, but the sun is glaring. And yeah, the Chief Commander 2 is not here, so I imagine it must be out on the lake. So here's the boardwalk. I'll walk along the part of it that I can walk along. Yeah, I don't know, Marie, you know, if there has been a live stream from North Bay before, I've never seen one. Or maybe it was from a smaller channel that just didn't get much in the way of views, or no one noticed, you know, that can happen. This is Lake Nipissing. That's right, it does have a funny name. Lake Nipissing. Nipissing. 1 P and 2 S's. A lot of people misspell it. They spell it with 2 P's. No, no, no. It's 1 P. So here's the marina. There's a police boat there. I don't know if there's any full houseboats though. Hey, Jenny's here. How's it going, Jenny? Welcome to North Bay. So here's where they have the boardwalk torn up. I guess they're just replacing it. It has been here for decades, and I don't think it's been replaced since then, so maybe they're finally sprucing it up. It still looks to be fairly good condition though on this end. You spelled it wrong, did you, Whitby dude? I didn't even notice. So there's the King's Wharf, as they call it now. It used to be called the Government Dock, but now it's called King's Wharf, and that's where the Chief Manitou docks, and people fish off there. And here's more endless lawn for someone to mow. Yeah, it's an obstructed sidewalk, not in Toronto. There's a million little bugs flying around here, but they're not shadflies. Shadfly season is over. These ones are way smaller than shadflies. I don't know, just little midges or something. And here's another beach. This is, I think, Marathon Beach. And in the summertime, these are pretty happening places here. There's tons of people sunbathing and in the water. There's a look up King's Wharf. And this is where you get the awesome sunset views. The sun sets directly, well, you can see it's coming down. This whole area just becomes a picture postcard, basically. Hop on the bandstand. I'll belt out some Helter Skelter. Helter Skelter. So that was pretty much the bulk of the North Bay waterfront. I did pass by over here. There's some carousels that I didn't get a chance to look at. North Bay went on a carousel kick. I think going back before I moved away anyway, they built one carousel and then they built another carousel. So there are a couple of carousels up there in that direction. Maybe what I'll do, since there's a new tunnel that goes under the tracks, I'll walk that way. We'll walk past the carousels and then I'll go through that new tunnel into downtown. There's also a mini train over here. I'm not sure if any of these things are operating right now. And lots of seagulls. Yeah, we're going to take the tunnel to Main Street. No, Via Rail does not come up here. It goes through Sudbury from Toronto before heading west. The Ontario Northlander train was the train that used to come up here. Yeah, rolling with Ian, that's now called Cecil's. The building is still there. Just has a new name. So, there are the carousels. Yeah, just as I thought, they are not currently operating. I'm not sure if they run past tourist season or if it's just because of COVID restrictions or something why they're closed. Yeah, I remember Cecil's being good. I did go there quite a few times before I moved away. On the other side of the road is the bike path. I think this is the first bike path built in North Bay. Yeah, there's talk of that, Ian, but we haven't heard anything official yet. There's a big pickup truck with big flaps. That's something you see quite a lot of up here. Godwin, $6.99. Thanks for taking us around North Bay, Ken. Well, you're very welcome, Godwin, and thank you very much for the $6.99. Here's another look at the carousels. Those are all handmade here by local artisans. All the horses and other animals and whatever other things they carved out of wood that you ride on were all done locally by local artisans. Yeah, the Gateway of the North sign is in Lee Park now. It's been there forever, really. Hello, Jaceel. And up there is where the mini train runs. But obviously it's not running right now either. We'll get another look at the lake. That's right, Lake Nipissing. 1P, 2 S's. It is one of the largest lakes in Ontario outside of the Great Lakes. Sort of in the same range as Lake Simcoe or Lake St. Clair, that kind of thing. I'm blind! I'm blind! And here's the tunnel into downtown. That's right, John O'Meara. So there used to be a big rail yard here between the waterfront and downtown, which they tore out. The rail land, oh god, I can't even talk. The rail land, the rail yards, yeah, the rail yards. They had to tear those out in order to try and convert this to park space, but they had to leave the main CP line, which you can see here is still operating, so that's why they had to build this underpass. The main CP line could not be removed. Mike Landry, $5. Thank you for showing us such a beautiful place. Have a great evening. Bye, everyone. Well, thank you very much once again, Mike, and you have a great evening as well. Glad you could get a look at my old hometown. And Vivian Johnson, $13.99. Thanks, Ken, for awakening happy childhood memories of the North. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you very much, Vivian. That's very, very kind of you. And I'm glad that I could do that. No scary monsters under there. Just a guitar man singing a song. So now we're coming into downtown, and it's kind of quiet downtown these days. It used to be busier when I lived here, and especially when I was a kid or a teenager. Let's go up on this thing here, we'll get a nice view. This berm, I guess that's what they call this thing. Hey, Chris Mills, how's it going? God, when it was just time. You know, sort of like a divorce, I guess you could say. After being married for so long, you're just like, okay, I think I'm ready to see other cities now. And Toronto was the only other city I ever wanted to really live in. Since I've been a fan of big cities all my life, and Toronto has always been my favorite big city. And the one I visited the most often, obviously. And the one I already had family and friends living in, so it just made sense for me to move to Toronto. It was sort of like calling me for like a very long time, since I was a kid, really. I just never made the move. I just always thought I liked living in North Bay. So I thought, well, I can always just visit Toronto. I don't need to live there, but all of a sudden I just wanted to live there. And I didn't want to live here anymore. It's like no hard feelings, North Bay. It was just time to move on. Yeah, I'm glad too. I think it all worked out for the best. I certainly wouldn't have a YouTube channel doing what I'm doing if I was still living in North Bay. Or at least not one that was getting very much attention anyway. And here's the former CP rail station. Now it's the North Bay Area Museum. And it's a nice old building. I think it's been here for over 100 years. I'm not sure if it's from the 18th century, I mean the 19th century, or the early 20th century. There might be a plaque or something on it. Jenny, $20. Here for a good time, not a long time. Hope this makes up for my absence. Do they have burritos in North Bay? Well, thank you very much, Jenny. Yes, they do have burritos. I noticed a Mexican restaurant just not too far from here when I was walking through yesterday. So thank you very much, Jenny, for the $20. Very, very kind. And yes, I have missed your presence here. Here's the North Bay Museum. So yeah, I remember when this was still operating as the train station. Now the train station is out behind Northgate Shopping Centre on the rail line that goes up north, the former Northlander rail line. So now trains don't even go to that train station. It's only a bus station now. No, there's no Burrito Boys, but there is a Taco Bell, which is new. There was never a Taco Bell when I lived here. And I just noticed it today. When I was recording a video, I was like, oh, look at that, Taco Bell. I was always pretty familiar with Toronto, Todd, so I kind of knew what I was going into when I moved there. And Godwin, yeah, this is downtown. This is Oak Street we're on right now, not the main street. Main Street is right over here. But I'm just going to go around. Cross. Might have seen on my Instagram I took a picture of this building. Yeah, maybe Megan will make a trip up here with me sometime. That is interesting. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a mannequin wearing a mask sitting in a bathtub. Hey, Hey, Lydia's here. Hello, Lydia. Yeah, North Bay also has a Starbucks now. I noticed that today too. I think it had a Starbucks briefly when Target was in town, before all the Targets closed down. But now it has a freestanding Starbucks, not inside of a store or a mall or something. You're welcome, Monica. Oh, you're welcome, Godwin. I'm just about to head over to Main Street, so you have to check out the replay to see the main part of downtown. So thanks for dropping by, Godwin. Oh, and over here, I almost forgot to point it out. There is the Dion Quintuplet's house. It got relocated here. It's been moved a bunch of times in its history. So now it's a museum. I mean, it's been a museum forever, but it used to be on the highway prior to this, the Highway 1117 bypass coming into town. And it was also on Pinewood Park Drive at one time before that. And now it's right here downtown on the waterfront. So it's the famous home where the Dion Quintuplets were born. Rolling with Ian, no, that is no longer there. And here's that new Mexican restaurant, Mr. Poncho. So I wonder how their burritos are. Steve Meekre, $1. Thank you very much, Steve, for the super chat. Very, very much appreciated. So we have reached Main Street. It's looking up Fraser Street. And so let's begin the walk down the main drag here. And it's pretty quiet. Yeah, it was a Whitby Dude. I think it was somewhere between Corbeil and Callander, sort of, in a kind of out of the way area between the two. And I hear some 80s music. Here's Creative Learning. This is a toy store. Dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Rolling. No, my mom has not met Megan yet. Here's North Bay Games and Hobbies. Most of these places were not in these locations last time I was in town. Creative Learning was there though. That place has been there forever. And this is a new restaurant here. This used to be the Cafe Chicago a long time ago. Now it's called Lou Dogs, and I'm going to talk over this song because this is a very popular 80s song that I'm sure to get a copyright claim over. That's right, that's right. Don't You Want Me Baby. And it's sad to see that this is closed down, Gulliver's Quality Books and Toys. This place was here forever, and I know it was going through some troubles years ago, and people were trying to save it to keep it open, but it looks like they weren't successful. And across the street is the Farm, Fashion Art Retail Market. Some people I know run that place. There's another look at Gulliver's. Yeah, this is actually a pretty attractive block here. The buildings are pretty nice. It's just too bad they can't seem to sustain successful businesses for very long. Downtown has just sort of taken a bit of a beating in recent years. There have been a number of fires that have destroyed some of the buildings. and they've never been replaced. Here's Mud Shark. This was a record store that originally was on the 100 East block, and they are either relocating here, or they already have. Are they open? Maybe they are open now. Yeah, it is pretty quiet, Scott. Yeah, it is kind of similar looking to downtown Orillia, or even downtown Barrie, even though Barrie has grown to be a bigger city now, but the original old downtown core of Barrie still kind of looks like this. North Bay and Barrie at one time were the same size. North Bay was actually bigger than Barrie at one time, up until like the 1980s, and then Barrie overtook it. And Barrie has just been growing like gangbusters ever since then, simply because it's close to Toronto, and it became a popular place for people to commute from. There's the Underdog. And this is the old Lefebvre's building. This used to be a store called Lefebvre's Sport and Hobby. There was a big fire here too at this building. But luckily the building was not destroyed, but it's been pretty much empty ever since the fire. But it looks like they're working on it now. Maybe something is going to go in there, hopefully. Yeah, Barrie just went insane with growth once the 1980s hit. There's Waxman Records, another friend of mine owns that place. Watcher, yeah, it's definitely way bigger than Bancroft. Bancroft is very small. I'm not sure what's in this building on the corner anymore. It used to be the North Bay Multicultural Center, but now it seems to be some sort of other office of sorts, or non-profit or something. My trademark plastic bag, that's right. Guess what? It's in my back pocket. So this is the 100 East block. This was always where the bars and nightclubs were, back when there was kind of a nightlife scene here. Mostly due to the college, university and college population. Yeah, there have been a number of big fires. There's the Moose. That's still going. And here's Taste of the World Foods. It's a little grocery store that I used to work at, but it had a different name back then. It was called Ben's Supermarket. And I worked there for about a year and a half. And here's the Capitol Center across the street. This is the Performing Arts Center. And it's actually a really nice building. It has a nice auditorium. Seats over 1,000 people. And they get some fairly decent acts here. Some nice touring shows. And they screen movies here still. It used to be a regular movie theater called the Capitol Theater before it became the Art Center. But they still screen second-run movies and art house movies sometimes. vacant buildings. And this one used to be a nightclub here. Before that, though, way back in the day, this was another movie theater called the Bay Theater. And I remember coming to see some movies here when I was a kid, like Police Academy. The very first Police Academy movie I saw there. And The Fox and the Hound, I remember seeing that there. Happy Tummy gluten-free baked goods. And Countryway Natural Foods. That's a health food store. And there's another health food store further up called Nature's Harvest. There's 2-for-1 pizza. That's been there for a long time. Same with Downtown Variety. And where that boarding with the colorful artwork is, there were some buildings there, but they burnt down a couple years ago. So it's another fire that brought down some old buildings. And here's the Cedar Tree. This is a Lebanese restaurant, and it's been here for over 10 years. This is where I would come to get my falafels before I moved away. And they're really good. It's a really good restaurant, actually. I highly recommend the Cedar Tree. And here's Cecil's. This used to be Wilder's at one time. This is where all the live touring bands would come and play. And before that, it was called the Continental, I think. And the Grand Event Center used to be a nightclub called the Zoo, which is connected on the inside to the bar here on this side. And before it was the Zoo, I think it was called Madam's. Yeah, there's some fairly big changes, Melissa. Everything seems a lot quieter, you know? Like, look at, there's like, look at. There's like not a person in sight going all the way down the street here. I see one guy on this side of the street, but he's kind of like weird. Like, it's just so quiet now. Where did everybody go? I mean, I know there's still people here. There's lots of traffic out away from downtown on like Algonquin Avenue and Lakeshore Drive and things like that, and on the bypass. But they just don't come downtown anymore. It's pretty spooky. There's a North Bay Transit bus. Woohoo! I used to ride around on North Bay Transit when I was a kid and a teenager, just for fun. Just so I could travel all over the city. I'm not sure if it's a combination of both, Kathleen. I'm sure the pandemic didn't help. And this used to be a movie theater here too. Now it's a play center or party center for kids. This used to be the Odeon Theater, and then it was the Gateway Theater. Hello, Jeff W. And I remember I came here when it was the Gateway, or no, it was the Odeon in the 80s. I came to see Back to the Future when it played there. I went all by myself to go watch Back to the Future. And I met a girl waiting outside. And then she came and sat with me and we watched Back to the Future together. And she was really cute. But then after the movie I just said bye. Because I was a dumbass. And I never saw her again. I moved to Toronto almost 11 years ago. 11 years ago this fall. I guess it is fall, but at the end of October, it'll be 11 years. Yeah, it's pretty similar to Aurelia, the Martels. I don't know if Aurelia is doing a little bit better in terms of its downtown health or not. And Aurelia is a bit smaller than North Bay, but it might be doing better because it is closer to Toronto, and of course Barrie is also nearby. I was 15, Todd, when I went to see Back to the Future and I met that girl. Thanks, Eddie, although I didn't really do things properly. I didn't know what I was supposed to do, you know. Oh well. And here's City Hall. That's the council chamber, kind of like Toronto City Hall has the round saucer thing. Well, that's ours. Tallest building, it's actually right over here. I'll show you in a minute. So this is McIntyre Street. This street is basically just a one-way traffic funnel through downtown. Rolling with Ian, it does sort of look like a giant toilet. I mentioned that in one of my pre-recorded videos I did when I was walking around downtown. Yeah, North Bay has some nice old brick houses too. Actually, maybe I'll show you some. There's lots of them actually. Mostly in the west end. Hello, Sam. This is cool. I see a lot of familiar faces here. I'm not going to name all these people, but I'm sure I could name most of these people. They're all Canadians. I'll just name these ones at the top here. Look at that. We got Alex, we got Neil, and we got Getty. And there's another Neil. I'll name him too. And there's a Joni. Oh yeah, I can't just start naming them all. Yeah, Celine Dion was there. I didn't see if he was on there, but I'll have to take a look again when I watch this. I did another pre-recorded video also looking at that mural. And that's the tallest building downtown right there. It's the Golden Age Towers. It's just a seniors apartment building. I don't know if Justin Bieber qualifies for that mural or not. I know he's Canadian and all, but they did have Drake on there though, so if Drake is on there, you would think Bieber would be on there. McIntyre Street is pretty quiet as well. Downtown is just so quiet now. Never knowingly, John? But no doubt you've heard one unknowingly. I think it's pretty much avoidable, or unavoidable, I should say. And here's the former Empire Hotel, this building in the middle. Now it's the Empire Living Center. It's a retirement home. Lato Valera for the swear jar. Last time I saw you, this dude cursed at you. Saw you. Well, thank you very much. I'm not sure what that currency is, but thank you very, very much. I can't read the little symbol there. If anyone knows, just let me know. But thank you very much for the super chat, Lato Valera. JD Fisher, hello, hello. Yeah, that's right. Some guy drove past me in a pickup truck in my last live stream and told me to go F myself. And his pickup truck was a piece of shit. So I just thought, ha ha. Over here you can see the former North Bay Normal School, domed building. Was that Israeli currency, Sam? That's right, John. The guy in that pickup truck is very angry. He was yelling at the car in front of him. What's up with dudes in pickup trucks? There's some sort of correlation between aggressiveness and driving a pickup truck. Well, of course not, Lato. Thank you very much. It's very kind of you. I have no ill will at all towards any people from anywhere. Why would I? Matter of fact, I have some Jewish people in my extended family, so hey. And speaking of Jewish, there is the North Bay Synagogue. The Sons of Jacob Synagogue. There we go. It's looking a little worse for wear right now, but I think it's still in operation as far as I know. So, it's Castle Street. So we're kind of starting to head out of downtown. Let's walk past my favorite restaurant in North Bay. Try not to get run over here. I am looking forward to getting back to Toronto, yeah. That's where I feel at home now. Yeah, that is the Pro Cathedral. That's pretty much the biggest church downtown. And here's Greco's Pizza. This has always been my favorite restaurant in town. It was also a popular hangout place in the 90s for all the young cool people, which I was tended to associate with. I don't think I was cool, but I would at least hang out with the cool people in hopes that their cool would rub off on me. During the whole grunge scene and the 90s alternative scene, this is where you would go. You would go and hang out, and you'd just sit there for hours on end and not really order anything. Just have a coffee or something, and they would just let you sit there. And I don't know why. Yeah, garlic bread with cheese. That was my sister's favorite. And it was also one of the cheapest things on the menu. So if you wanted to just hang out there and not feel like you were like a freeloader or whatever, you just order a garlic bread with cheese, and you could just sit there for a couple hours and hang out with your friends and look cool and hope all the other cool kids would come in and see you there, and then they'd all come and hang out, and you'd all feel like you were just at the center of all things hip and happening in North Bay. That's kind of what Greco's was all about. It's good to go. That's a health food store. I think they have lots of vegetarian and vegan offerings there. That place kind of came along after I left town. I A Don's Pizza? I don't know. I don't think so. And I should mention, I worked at Greco's for one day. One day. My friend got me a job there. She worked there. And after one day of making pizzas in the hot, disgusting kitchen, not disgusting because it was dirty, just because it was hot. It was very, very hot. And I was covered with flour and dough, and I just thought, I do not like this. So that was it. That was it for me, one day. Mike Young, it was very good. It was a quick 3-hour drive. Got a lift with my buddy Jim. What did I do for fun? Well, Fong, I actually had a lot of fun growing up here. There was a lot of things to do, at least I thought so. I mean, just lots of outdoorsy type activities, if that's your cup of tea. Like going to the beach and things like that. And then when I was a little older, I got into the local music scene, so I would just go see all my friends play in bands, in their bands and stuff like that, and there was always lots of shows and things going on. And lots of artist friends would have art openings and things like that, so I would go to those. So it was kind of like the art and music scene that I was involved in. And there was never a lack of things going on, at least I didn't think so. That was mostly in the 90s and early 2000s. In the 80s, I just sort of kept to myself when I was in high school. I didn't really go out much. I beat your record, Bill Chow. Awesome. So now we're coming into the old West End. This is the nice residential neighborhood on the west side, in contrast to the kind of sketchier neighborhood on the east side. Wallaceburg, oh boy. That would be interesting to do. That town has fared worse than North Bay, and it's way smaller. I don't think there's really much left downtown in Wallaceburg at all, really. Yeah, Todd, at that time I thought it was pretty good. I don't know about now, though. I mean, I know there's still things going on and all that. I'm just not really obviously aware of everything that's happening in town anymore. I just have a feeling it's not as active as it used to be in that sense. Yeah, boy from New York, yeah, lots of snow. North Bay definitely gets lots of snow. And here's a gigantic house here. That was a hot rod. scuba shops. You know, you got me, Carl. I don't know. Oh, in North Bay, no sidewalk goes unobstructed. Ha 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 ha. I don't think it can compete with Toronto in that sense, so. Here's the Old West End. Yeah, that's one thing I did kind of notice when I got back into town, is the streets are definitely a bit wider than you see in the old neighborhoods in Toronto. And there's more space between the sidewalk and the curb. In Toronto, everything is a lot more narrow and hemmed in. A lot more dense. Toronto's just a lot more dense. Everything's closer together. The lots are a lot smaller. Houses are all attached together in places, like row houses and semi-detached, whereas here, not so much. Yeah, that's true, right? Whitby Dude, we haven't seen many cyclists, although I know, you know, there are definitely cyclists around. I mean, I always saw more than enough when I lived here, but just haven't really noticed any. This used to be King George Public School, and it's not a school anymore. I think this has been used as like a on-location set in some of the movies and TV shows that have been filming in North Bay. There's a big movie and TV filming industry in North Bay now, if I didn't mention that. So all kinds of movies and shows are shot here now, and they use these buildings. Actually, speak of the devil, look what it says. This used to be King George Public School when it was a actual North Bay building. Now it's Bishop Police Department. That's from that show Carter with Jerry O'Connell. Might have seen that show. In that TV series, North Bay was playing a fictional town called Bishop, which was also located in Northern Ontario. And Jerry O'Connell was the main star of that show, and that building here, the old school, was used as the police department in the town of Bishop. Oh no, is that true, Melissa? That sucks. I guess winter is not going to be any more pleasant. It'll probably be wetter even. Yeah, Cardinal's another TV show that's shot here. In that show, the town is called Algonquin Bay, which is actually just a fictionalized version of North Bay. Everything is kind of the same, especially if you read the books that the show is based on, because the author of those books is from North Bay, Giles Blunt. He grew up here, and he wrote all of his books set in the town he grew up in. He just changed the name to Algonquin Bay, but all the street names and local landmarks are all the same, so it's just North Bay with a different name. And not all of them, but lots of the Hallmark Christmas movies that you see, those cheesy Christmas movies, are shot here. And they tend to shoot those movies in the summertime, so what they do is they go downtown and they pile loads of fake snow all over the street to make it look like winter, instead of just coming here in the actual winter and using the piles of real snow that are laying around. Wonder how much money they spend on all that fake snow. Fake snow looks more authentic. And it's also not all dirty and crusty like the real snow gets when it's downtown, after the cars drive over it and other dirt and crud gets all over it. There's a cyclist, although he's riding an electric e-bike. Yeah, I wouldn't mind fake snow either, Marie. I'm not a fan of winter and snow. Wow, I can smell the grass. It smells very good. That guy was just mowing his lawn there. It smells really nice. Sanjay, oh, for sure. That's the thing people in North Bay just do. Plugging their cars in. There's a nice house. I remember this house was featured in the Kids in the Hall TV series that they shot like over 10 years ago, called Death Comes to Town, when Kids in the Hall had their first reunion show, which was a TV series. And one of the characters played by one of the kids in the hall lived in this house on the show. Yeah, so this is the old West End. And I had a friend way back in the 90s who lived in this house. So I've been inside there. That was a nice house from what I remember. We got to see the nice part of North Bay, at least the old part anyway. There's some nice neighborhoods kind of out in the more suburban parts of town, of course, up on top of the hill, up on top of Thibault Hill. There's some big, giant houses up there. There's a wealthy neighborhood up there where they get to look down on the rest of the city. Hello, Ken. Ken. Hello, Scott. Hi, Ken. Well, hello back to you, Scott. You're gonna have to readjust, Melissa. These houses, well, they're definitely cheap compared to comparable houses in Toronto, I can tell you that. I'd say maybe like 300,000-400,000 for a house like that. I don't know, I'm just sort of guessing, but in Toronto that would be over $1 million. Like that would be like 1.2 or something. Yeah, Melissa, 400, yeah. Like something like this would probably cost a bit more. Maybe 500 or 600. But you can get a decent house in an okay neighborhood that's fairly good size for like 250, 300. I mean, that's in good condition. Like maybe something like this. It's a bit smaller than that other one I showed. Maybe like 300. Oh, Johnny's streaming? Oh, well. He doesn't want to watch me walking around my hometown? I can understand that. It's not the most incredibly exciting place to walk around, but it is interesting. It is something different, that's for sure. Something different than what you're all used to seeing me do. And I think that's definitely worth a look. And I was actually pretty excited to come up here and do this, so I'm glad I could finally do it. He started around the same time, oh my. Jack from Sydney, $5 Australian dollars, super sticker. Thank you very much, Jack from Sydney. Very much appreciated. I hope things are going very well over there in Sydney, which is a beautiful city. Marco. I get the big screen. Hey Jerome, yeah, you're welcome. You glad you're enjoying. Yeah, that is my birthday, Jack. Well, that's awesome. We're birthday twins. And there's another Australian who watches the streams named Estelle, and her birthday is also on September 19th. So I guess we're birthday triplets. Yeah, Brad, I'm making my way back up towards my mother's house now. This is the way she lives. Oh yeah. Which way is NORAD? NORAD is that way. It is north. There's the North Bay Police. What's for dinner? Well, Chris Mills, I have plans to go to Eastside Mario's with a friend later. So probably something Italian. Eastside Mario's, hey, bada boom, bada bing. Do they still do that jingle? There's my ride, yeah. And I can see we're at the 2-hour mark here, so maybe I'll start wrapping up the stream here. Melissa, $69.99. What the? Oh, holy cow. Well, thank you very much, sister. $69.99. Super chat. Did you pick that amount because that's the year I was born? Wow. Thank you very much, sister. Take mom out for dinner. All right. I'll ask her if she wants to come to Eastside Mario's. Or we will order from Greco's or something. Well, if she wants to later tonight, when I get back from Eastside Mario's, I'll see if she wants to order from Greco's. My treat. Well, actually, your treat. Here's the big Algonquin Avenue hill here. I know what I'll do. I'll take us to the top of the hill, and then I'll go onto this plot of land here where there used to be a hospital, but they tore it down, so now it's just a big vacant lot. But there's an awesome view of downtown from up there. So I'll take us up there, and I'll end the stream as we look down upon downtown North Bay. Greco's pizza for everyone. Yeah, come on up in the summer, Terratopia, although not during shadfly season. Anytime before or after shadfly season. You're very welcome, Whitby dude. You're welcome, boy from New York. Well, I think we have one big hospital now. They tore down the old St. Joseph's and Civic Hospital, which used to be right here. Well, one was right here, the other one was just a little ways away. They tore those down when they replaced them with a new big hospital sort of on the outskirts of town. But as far as I know, you might have to leave town for certain specialized procedures and things like that. Hey Julio, it was around 20 degrees earlier when I started the stream, so it was pretty warm. Cynthia, you're welcome. And we're at the top of the hill. Let's see if I can make my way over to that spot where the nice view is. They might have it fenced off, since that is a sort of demolition zone now, or a former demolition zone. And we can see the sun setting. Maybe I can get in here. When there was still a hospital here, I used to come here quite a bit to take photographs because the view was really good. And the hospital itself was pretty big. It was a big building that you could see from all over the city because it was perched up here on this hill. And it was like 6 floors. But it looked taller than that because it was perched up here. From around the city you could see it popping up. It looked like it was like a big 20-story building or something. So when they tore it down, I was kind of bummed out. And then they tore down the other hospital, which is over in that direction, which was also another big building. Now there's just these vacant lots. Although this lot is now slated to be redeveloped into a senior citizens residential complex. So at least it won't look like this for much longer. And I can't get over here, but I can hold the gimbal over the fence. There we go, downtown North Bay. Yeah, when I came here before to visit a friend who was in the hospital here, and they were up on like one of the upper floors, the view was amazing. I was just like, wow, I wouldn't mind being sick in this room. Jim M, $20. Thank you, Ken. Nice walk. Well, very, very, very welcome, Jim, and thank you very much for the $20. Yeah, this is the North Bay version of Riverdale Park. So thank you everyone for watching my live stream walk around my old hometown, North Bay. Hope you enjoyed it. We went along the waterfront, and then we went around downtown, and some nice old neighborhoods in the West End. And now we're here looking at the view of downtown. So thanks everyone for commenting, and thanks to the mods for modding, and thanks to everyone who super chatted. You're all very generous. Very, very generous indeed. I appreciate it very much. And I'll see you back in Toronto. I still have some regular pre-recorded Toronto videos that I have scheduled to be posted over the next couple of days. And then after that, I'll start posting my pre-recorded North Bay videos. And I'll see you this upcoming weekend for a live stream from Toronto, my regular weekend Toronto live stream. So thank you everyone. That's true, Melissa. I know, right? It's kind of like we're still in the same place, sort of, right? So I'll see you all next time. Thanks again, everyone. Have a good night. I'll see you back in Toronto. I will continue